Hallelujah, Case Closed is coming back to America, and in a very unique way, or at least they might be coming back to America. They are, but they aren't. It's complicated, but if you want to know what's going on, and obviously what you can do to keep Case Closed coming to America, you might want to watch this video. Hey everyone, this is Kevin, your failed journalist, and it's been a long time since I've done a Case Closed video, a very long time, and that's because of one major reason. Case Closed has largely not been in the news as in regards to Western media. I think it's because even though Case Closed is still running in Japan and the manga is still being released in America, the TV show has kind of been up in the air and it's been a real confusing mess. Because Case Closed, for those of you who are not aware, was licensed by Funimation several years ago. I believe it was like 2001 or 2003, something like that. It was a while ago. And it aired on Cartoon Network's Adult Swim at the ripe time of 1:30 in the morning. And, well, it didn't do very well, and Cartoon Network, despite it being a fairly inexpensive show for Cartoon Network to buy, decided not to continue with it. Now, Funimation, the company that, bought it, tried to, keep it going. They released additional seasons on DVD. They released some movies. And they even at one point, when they had, the season saver sets, found that sweet little price point for which Case Closed would be embraced by people. Unfortunately, by then it was too late. For those of you who are wondering where I got this information, I got it all from this wonderful article on Anime News Network, who, yes, I do have some issues with the site. I'm not saying I don't, and I do have some issues with the writer, Mike Toole, but he writes this very, very well detailed. He is a super knowledgeable person when it comes to the history of anime in America, and he wrote this excellent article about the history of Case Closed in America and basically what happened. It's by far one of and there's Anime News Network. This is one of the reasons I have an issue with their site, because they have so much malware. So basically, for that reason, I'm not going to link to the site. And by the way, before anyone says oh, you probably just need a virus, no, I have virus protectors. Anime News Network is the only site that does things like that. But anyway. And years ago, here's the thing. Funimation gave it a good try. When I was younger, I didn't appreciate this, but they really did try to sell it. They wanted to be succeed, but ultimately wasn't. At one point, they finally let the thing expire, along with a couple other licenses. They were like, hey, you know what? We tried. This didn't work. And that was that. Leaving fans of Case Closed to basically make podcasts, talk about the show in Japan, and hope that maybe one day it will come back. Now, since Funimation let the license expire, a few things did transpire that was actually positive for the Case Closed brand in America. It actually started appearing on Crunchyroll and Netflix, more recent episodes, and most of them were not dubbed, but they started appearing there. What's more, we got our first new Case Closed content, technically, a few years ago, 2015 actually, when Discotek, I believe that's what they're called, Discotek, released a couple of crossovers with Lupin the Third and Detective Conan. Now, I made videos back then talking about this and saying, hey, if you want more Case Closed to come to America, well, you might want to buy these. Because even if you're not a huge fan of Lupin the Third, if there's an increase in sales and you can let them know, I bought this because it's Case Closed, or Detective Conan now as they're calling it, then that, who knows, Discotek might actually be a company that might consider looking into releasing more of it. I don't know exactly how much more, but they might consider it at some point. Well, it turns out that ended up being absolutely correct. Now, I stumbled upon this completely by accident, and when I looked around like Anime News Network and Fandom Post, all these sites, I wasn't seeing anybody talking about this, which is why we're making this video now. But Case Closed is, in fact, coming back to America. You can buy a new Case Closed movie / episode / special, whatever this is. Actually, I know exactly what this is, and we'll explain what it is. On 7/28/20. And just to let you know, yes, I have already pre-ordered it, and I pre-ordered it from Right Stuff because I believe in supporting them over Amazon. Now then, here, what is this? Well, this is episode 1, in quotes, The Great Detective turned small. Now, what this was this was like a special, I believe, in Japan of the first couple episodes or something. It was basically the first couple episodes remade in high definition. And I think it was done pretty logically, for my opinion, because Case Closed has been going on for more than 20 years in Japan. And when you watch old episodes compared to new episodes, the old episodes, while still good, definitely don't look as nice as today's episode. So to try to keep newcomers coming in, they decided, hey, we're going to remake the first episode, and it's going to be in high definition. Truthfully, I would like to see this be like the start of like a restoration special edition project, if you will. Kind of like how Dragon Ball Kai was like a manga version of Dragon Ball Z where they cut all the filler out. I would not mind if the Case Closed creators like reanimated key episodes of the series that were story related and just had Case Closed the novel edition or something like that, where it's like, okay, all the filler episodes are cut out and you can, if you so choose, you can just watch the story. That said, since Case Closed is probably 75% filler, it is some of the best filler of any anime, but we're getting off topic. So anyway, that was the point behind this special. And now I see it's up for pre-order and on Blu-ray. This is the first time that Case Closed has ever been available in Blu-ray. What's more, it's not being called Detective Conan. It is still being called Case Closed, One Truth Prevails, using the original logo. So I guess that brand, that name is not completely dead in America yet. Now, let's look at this about Case Closed Episode 1 Blu-ray because it's very interesting. Detective Conan Episode 1, The Great Detective Turned Small, is an anime film directed by Yasuchiro Yamamoto and is a thrilling and inventive retelling of the original Detective Conan origin story. Created 20 years after the legendary young detective made his TV anime debut in 1996, this film serves as a reintroduction to Shinichi Kudo's crime-fighting exploits as Conan Edogawa, his distant and wistful romance with Ran Mori, and his burgeoning friendship with Professor Agasa and the Junior Detective League. Interestingly, you'll notice they're using the Japanese names, which, look, I love the dub for Case Closed. I actually think in many ways it's better than the Japanese versions, mainly because the voice actors sounded better. I never liked the fact that, I liked the pitch difference in, for example, Jimmy's voice as opposed to Conan's voice, but the one annoyance was the English names, because it's pretty clear it's an American localization. So I find it interesting that they're using the Japanese names again. That means that the days of the English names, may they rest in peace with names like Serena and whatever the English names they use for One Piece were, may they rest in peace. But anyway, hundreds of TV episodes and dozens of movies and specials featuring Detective Conan have been made, but don't fret, you can pick the trial up right here. I think trial is an interesting word that they're using. It all started when Ran Mori lost her smartphone. Shinichi Kudo, her would-be boyfriend, promises to replace it, but the high schooler is already making his name as a consulting detective for the police. When he abruptly leaves her karate tournament to skillfully solve a high-society murder case, Shinichi is going to have to take Ran on a special date to get back on her good side. A colorful amusement park beacons, and so does a horrifying act of homicide. In pursuing this new murder mystery, Shinichi stumbles across the shadowy black organization, a crime syndicate that attempts to silence the gifted sleuth the only way they can without attracting attention, by force-feeding him a strange drug with unknown properties. Now Shinichi finds himself younger, so much younger. In fact, that his police allies don't even recognize him. Armed with nothing but his wits and a brand new identity as Conan Edogawa, boy detective, Kudo takes off in pursuit of justice, answers, and someday a return to his original age. I find that description very interesting because it sounds much more like the description of a Japanese episode. It doesn't have the One Truth Prevails slogan. It doesn't seem Americanized in any way. And that's pretty cool. Now, who is releasing this? Eastern Star. Who's Eastern Star? Why, they are a subsidy of Discotek Media. I don't know for certain if the Lupin the Third DVD sales encourage them to put their leg on a limb. I do know that one of the Case Closed movies, I call it Case Closed, I'm sorry, the Detective Conan movies, was actually dubbed into English and shown in 40X at an anime expo last year. You want to know how I know that? It's because I told my best man, hey, I would really love to see the new Detective Conan movie in 40X as my bachelor party, if we could. But that arrangement could not have been made, apparently. Which is fine, I understand. No, I love the guy. But I kind of wondered, like, who dubbed that, and are they thinking about doing it? And I have not seen that dub pop up anywhere outside of the Anime Expo. But people who watched it said, yeah, it was still called Case Closed, but the names were Japanese, and the English acting was good. Unfortunately, different voice actors. Like, I'm probably going to always love the original voice actors. Kind of like how the new Sailor Moon dub, I acknowledge, is a much better dub than the original Deke dub. But I have a soft spot in my heart for the original voice actors as well. Terry Hawks will always be Serena, in my opinion, although Stephanie Shen does do a good job. Well, I don't know what happened to that, but I kind of wonder if Discotech or Eastern Star were the people who dubbed that movie. And maybe they were sitting on the release because they want to kind of slowly get into it. And this is, hey, a great way to do it. There's a fair amount of Case Closed that people can watch subtitled on Crunchyroll and Netflix right now. And it makes sense that, hey, their first release, it can be high definition. It's episode 1. Granted, it's a remade episode 1. And they can just kind of see what happens with the sales, and they can see if it's even worth going forward. Now, that said, everyone who's watching this, if you're a Case Closed fan and you really want to see more dubbed Case Closed, you want to see those season box sets, you want to see more movies, you want to see it released on DVD, Blu-ray, whatever, I'll tell you the same thing now as I told you with the Loop on the Third versus Detective Conan DVDs. You need to buy this. It's only $20. It's $20. And granted, we're going through like a rough time right now. I totally understand that. Money's short for a lot of people. If you don't have money for any entertainment, I guess that's life. But if you do have disposable income and you really want to see more Case Closed, now's your chance to show that it can be profitable. You have to buy this. If you want to see more Case Closed, come to America in English. Like, I don't even know, is this dubbed or not? Yes, it is spoken language, English and Japanese. English and Japanese. So apparently there will be a dub, if this is in fact correct. Of course, I don't know. There are mistakes in listings all the time. Now, I really don't care where you buy Case Closed. I recommend Right Stuff International. I'll leave a link below. But if you want to buy it from Best Buy or Amazon, if you so choose, a sale is a sale. But here's the thing. This is like the first chance in years that Case Closed fans have been given an opportunity to support the series with their wallet, excluding the manga, which, by the way, the manga is still worth buying because it shows that if they see that the manga's selling, then somewhere that's got to tell people maybe they'll buy the show too. Just saying, manga sales aren't nothing. But there you go. It's so interesting. And if there is one thing that surprises me a little about this, it's that they are still using the original Case Closed logo, which I am surprised that they're doing that for a couple of reasons. One, the logo does make this look like a children's show. It really does. And it's not a children's show. At least not that type of children's show. What's more, Case Closed has always been a problem when recommending the show to people, I've found. Because I tell people, oh, I love the show Case Closed. And they're like, oh, you mean Cold Case? That thing on CBS. It's like, no, it's called Case Closed. And I have to actually explain what it is. If it was called Detective Conan, I'd probably still have to explain what it is, but I don't have to convince them it's a separate show. So I am surprised that they're using it, but at the same time, maybe it's just one of those cases where it's like, we've been calling it this for so long that they feel like they have no reason but to keep using the name. I don't know. Either way, this is very, very good news. I'm very happy to see this here. And again, I actually have pre-ordered 2 copies. I'm going to give one as a gift to someone. I don't know who yet, but I'm going to give it out as a gift because it's like, hey, now's a good time to actually introduce the show to other people. So anyway, that's where we're going to end this one, though. But I'd like to know, what do you think about this news? Does this excite you? Are you going to buy your copy? I'd love to know. Comment below, like, favorite, share, subscribe, and as always, flame responsibly. Have a good one. And yeah, I am definitely looking forward to having a little bit more case closed in my life that I can legally own.